Good morning. This is Rosemary DeTrolio, and this is the Lightwalker's Path. And my lovely guest today is Gloria Lybecker, and she guides women out of trauma loops, people pleasing, so that they can breathe deeply, trust their inner wisdom, live fiercely with heart-led clarity. And she's a wonderful woman, and she's fantastic with horses. And I'm so happy to see you. How are you, Gloria?
Oh, I'm doing really terrific today.
Good.
Just home from a good trip, but I'm excited to be here on your podcast, Rosemary. So thank you for the invitation.
I'm so excited to talk to you. One of my close friends is a horse person, and
Hmm.
she loves connections with horses. So I'll have to give you her contact information too, because I'm inspired by what you do. So I want to ask you, what do you do like with your horses that helps people with trauma or with sensitivity? Like, how do you use your horses to heal people?
Well, I partner with them
Okay.
because my horses, all horses, all of nature, then, they're sentient beings.
Mm-hmm.
And what they do is they help to accompany us
Uh-huh.
to remember who we were created to be.
Okay.
So I have several different certifications, and one of them is constellations
Mm-hmm.
work, family
Okay.
constellations. And I do constellations with my herd of horses.
Mm-hmm.
So when somebody steps into that sacred field,
Yes,
and the horses step in and they begin to represent aspects of the person's life dynamics.
that's awesome. The horses actually do that.
Oh, yeah, of course they do.
Wow. Let me.
They read people from the inside out
Mm-hmm.
rather than listening to those story bubbles that tend to influence most people.
Love that. Love that. I'm just going to change the view on this to, oh, there we go. That's what I was trying to do. Yeah, so I know that horses are very sensitive and that they do read emotion, but because I don't have a lot of experience with these big animals, other than, to pet them, as I go by, I'm really fascinated that you can actually use it as a surrogate for people's emotions. I didn't know that that was possible.
Oh, there's so much that's possible that most humans don't understand.
Yes.
The work that I do with partnering with my horses is
Uh-huh.
helping humans remember who they really are and how to communicate without having to use the human language.
Right,
That you can
right.
use, the language of nature itself, and nature itself also is a part of the constellations.
Right,
So if
right.
a whirlwind comes through, or a big
Yes.
cloud covers,
Yes.
maybe some doves come in and land on the fence, even
Mm-hmm.
a horsefly.
Yeah.
Each aspect represents something in that person's field of life. And the
Yes.
person then recognizes it in the moment and receives the gifts from nature.
I love that. And I've always noticed animals. I have this strange thing with animals as well. So yesterday I had a hummingbird in my garden and it flew right over near me and then went around. And I've always had I was actually able to hold a hummingbird in my hand when I was working at the park. It just kind of dropped in and I held it for a while and then it flew away.
Oh,
So I've
wow.
had kind of neat experiences with animals, and I have a very close connection with plants and nature as well because I love to garden, I love to be outside. So, what are some of your experiences that you would like to share related to your horses or signs that you see in nature that have helped you?
Oh, well, there's so many. The main one is the horses, though. The horses, when I was just a young girl, I
Uh-huh.
was really blessed that my grandpa's cousin asked if we could have a horse at our place. And so
Uh-huh.
he brought the horse, and he's the one that introduced horses to me.
Mm-hmm.
Well, when I was just barely 14 years old, I experienced some pretty severe trauma.
Yeah.
And I turned to my horse. Her name's Beauty.
Uh-huh.
And she was a beautiful little black Morgan mare. And we became best friends. And I
Oh,
just couldn't wait to get to go out. And I loved riding bareback on her. And we just were like
oh,
one. And
I
I'd
love
go
that.
out into nature. And I
Oh,
remember I would just lay back on her back and she'd just get to
oh,
eat grass or apples or whatever she wanted. And there was
yeah,
complete trust.
that's
And I would
beautiful.
gaze up at the clouds and I would just dream about what my life was going to look like.
I love that.
And that is the life that I am creating now. And it
Beautiful.
comes from that time in nature and with that
Mm-hmm.
beautiful little mare that will
Oh.
always hold a very special spot in my heart.
Yes, I know that animals are either teachers or they are guides for us. And I've seen that with a lot of the pets that I've had through the years. The one now, she's teaching us humor. The one before that was teaching us joy. We had a little dog that like everything was exciting. Oh, it's bedtime. Great. You know, the tail would wag or whatever it was. I know that they all have a purpose in our lives to be able to help us. Are you able to see nature spirits or have connection with nature spirits as well?
Well, it would depend on, there's many different people that have many different gifts.
Yeah.
And so I'm very intuitive. It's
Hmm.
not that that there's something that I actually see.
Uh-huh.
And so there are times when I will see something, and there are times where I just receive information in the moment. I
Okay.
remember one of the most powerful receivings that I had was the moment in time when my mother passed and went through the veil.
Yes.
And I was driving home and
Hmm.
I was going down this long stretch of country road. The sun was just starting to come down to set. And then
Hmm.
she passed at 6:25 on June 25th. So that
Oh.
was just very synchronous there.
Hmm.
But in that moment, time stilled. And all of a sudden there was this in the sunshine, I could see my mother's head and she'd had cancer, so she had this fuzzy cap around her head.
Oh.
And she was there when she had big luminous brown eyes. And right
Mm.
behind her was her mother, my grandmother Lee, who
Oh, I
passed away
love
recently
that.
too. And
Yes.
they were there, and there were no words spoken, but there was a lot of communication.
Yes.
And
Right.
as I looked up and I saw her, she extended her arm out to me, and she had this scroll that was just all lit up, that was white and had a golden
Hmm.
thread around it. And she passed it to me, and she said she was passing on to me the baton of faith that came from
Oh, I
her
love that.
to me.
Yes.
And as I reached out and I took hold of it, it was like boom, all of a sudden, grab hold of the steering wheel. I'm driving, it's like in an instant, and I'm like, holy cow, what just happened? And
Yeah.
when I got home, there was a message from my father at that same time that let me know
Okay.
she had passed.
Oh, yeah,
So,
yeah, I totally understand. Both of my parents are on the other side, and when my father passed, he gave me lots of messages. And my mom, not so much. It took her a while, but because his soul was so strong, I was getting constant dreams. He was showing me the other side. He was giving messages. It was like, he just opened up the door and said, "Hey, everybody, come on over. My daughter will talk to you." And for me, I don't consider myself a medium. I have mediums tell me I'm a medium, but I don't want to be a medium. It's not what I do. But I have the ability, and I totally get that. Okay, so I'm going to ask you if you think that I know I had a past life as a Native American. I just know it. Do you feel that you have information in your soul that has guided you now, like past life or who you might have been, or do you resonate with that?
what I resonate with is being guided by the inner light, which
Hmm.
is a continuous thread throughout
Yes,
the
yes.
continuum of life.
Love that.
I don't identify with specific identities.
Hmm.
I identify with that one light
Love
that
that.
does illuminate all of life.
Yes, yes. And that's probably how I see it as well. I'm very connected with God and angels, and I channel angels. So I get information, but of course I pray to God, and I believe that this flow of light is in all of us, and we're all connected, and there's really no past, present, or future. It's all intermelding with who we are right now and what we need to learn.
Yeah, I got to meet this amazing woman. I'm not remembering her name right now, but it was when I was really stepping out differently because
Hmm.
I'd been the home I was raised in was very fundamental.
Hmm.
And so there were certain things like you're not supposed to do, right?
Right,
And
right.
so when I first stepped out I went to a unity church that had a whole lot of different spiritual practitioners there that had
Hmm.
so many different gifts, and I'd never gotten to rub shoulders with them at all. And
Uh-huh.
so I went in there just with faith and to see who I would meet. And there were
Hmm.
two different people that I met that really profoundly influenced me to be more open.
Hmm.
Or to remain open as I was as I
Hmm.
stepped in there. And one of them was an astrologer that when he did my reading, his
Hmm.
reading, he said that I came to be a mother to the mothers and a teacher to the teachers. And that really
Hmm.
resonated with me because I love animals. I love accompanying people. And
Hmm.
motherhood has been the biggest blessing of my life. I
Oh, that's
just love,
beautiful.
yeah. And the other lady, she was somebody that had sight from when
Uh-huh.
she was born, but she was taught by a fundamental family, you
Okay.
don't see what you see.
Oh
So she was
gosh,
given
poor
doubt.
woman.
But as she moved through and she did some different types of experiences herself,
Mm-hmm.
she reclaimed what was hers by
Yeah.
right, and she had
Yeah.
become an artist. So what she did is she did a reading on me, but what she did is she made a picture. So I have this amazing picture that my husband had framed for me that'll
Beautiful.
go. And what she did is it was just an outline of me and then all the colors that she could see in my
Your
aura
aura.
and
Mm-hmm.
all of the different guides and spirits and the vision that she saw.
Yes.
And so it was really just like incredible to be able to be seen for who I am and encouraged in that.
I love that.
And it was such a beautiful experience.
It's all part of why you're good at what you do. It's like when you guide your clients because you have this experience. And I know myself when I'm working with clients, because I've had so many unique experiences, you can draw off of we're not just this one person, we're this energy that's around us of all the beautiful things that we can bring to other people. And it makes a
Well,
difference.
yeah,
Yeah,
we're actually a conduit of that
absolutely.
light that continues through all of
Yeah.
us, and we are all interconnected,
We are certainly
but we're not all
interconnected.
awake at the same level, and that's
No,
okay.
no. And that's why, we're put with people like one is over here, one's over there. So you lift someone up, they lift you up, and it's kind of a cooperation
It's a
here on the
reciprocal
Earth
dance.
School, right? A dance of, I always, it's funny when I do energy work, I'm always drawn to do like that figure eight over the body when I'm done, because it's like weaving together, it's weaving all these energies.
Wow. Yeah,
Yeah.
beautiful. Oh, that's beautiful.
Love that. Okay. Um, Okay, do you work with, I know you work with animal energy. So what are some of your grounding techniques or clearing techniques or centering techniques when you need to be in a good place to help clients or to be who you truly are? Like what are some of the things that
Well,
you love to do?
Well, I have practices that I practice. Because if I
Mm-hmm.
don't practice them, then they're not really a practice, right? And
Right.
so one of them is to start my day connecting to the light myself,
Mm-hmm.
first and foremost. And what I have it right here in front of me, is I have a list of what I've written down as I've stepped into that divine circle of light and recognized my gifts and talents of why I'm here. So I
Mm-hmm.
wrote them down as choices because
Okay.
in my experiences, the choices that we make and the energy we make those choices with, the actions we take, it creates the life. And what
I
kind of life
agree.
am I creating? Is it one
Mm-hmm.
that I'm like not so fond of, or is it one that I'm really, really love? And so
Absolutely.
I really desire to create a life I love. And so
Yes.
I start my day out, and because I have practiced this for so long, I have
Mm-hmm.
them, they're all embodied.
I
But I
love it.
keep the
Yes.
written form just because I like to have that as well.
Beautiful.
So I begin my day with that. And
Mm-hmm.
then from there, I recognize, well, today, right now, as I say this choice, what is my one action to take in
Mm-hmm.
service of that? So being in service to life is always important.
Yes.
When I find myself a little scrambled, so there, I just came back from getting to go on a lovely stay in Cancun with my
Oh,
husband.
nice.
And so, there's a transition. It's kind
Yes.
of like a travel hangover
Yeah.
where your body's
Fantasy,
just trying to catch.
reality.
Yeah, so I love Donna Eden's energy work. And
Okay.
so she has Donna, if you haven't heard of it, it's a free thing that she gives to people, and I recommend it highly to my clients. And
Okay.
it's Donna Eden's daily energy routine. And
Nice.
so those different practices, they're all just different energy medicine routines that you can utilize. And
Mm-hmm.
I love to teach it to my clients, so my clients are empowered wherever they are.
Mm-hmm.
And so one of them that's one of my favorites is you take your arms, put them out and bring them in like
Yeah.
this.
Uh-huh.
And you cross your legs and then
Yes.
you put your tongue up to the roof of your mouth.
Mm-hmm.
And I focus my intention on the divine.
Mm-hmm.
And then you want to switch it up and do it the opposite direction. And then
Mm-hmm.
you end by bringing your hands together to your forehead. And then you
Mm-hmm.
receive that divine light and you open up, receive it
Mm-hmm.
all. And here from your shoulders, you just release anything that's not life-serving.
I
And
love
it's
that.
that's my favorite one to do. And that's to
Yeah.
unscramble your energies. It
Yeah.
hooks your body
It
back up.
hooks. Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
It's interesting because I was a school teacher for 32 years. So a lot of the practices that are calming for kids are similar to that. Because I remember doing like an infinity walk and the left and right hemispheres of the brain. And what it does is it actually joins the left and the right together
It
so that
does.
you can balance the hemisphere. So it's interesting that it's also a yoga move, I know. Similar to, I can't think of the name of it, but it's a yoga move. So there's so many ancient wisdom and practices that are just like coming back and for reasons because we need them. We need those again.
Well, they never really left, but
No.
sometimes we've left. And so
Yes,
as we reawaken and as we come
that's
back
right.
into congruence with our own purpose that's
Yes.
divine and
Yes.
into that timing, then we can begin to see what we couldn't see before. And
Absolutely.
in my
Yeah.
experience, there's so many things that, what I do and what you do, they're the same, but it's a slightly different frequency so that those who are seeking us will find us. And
Absolutely.
so
Yeah.
there's basically nothing new under the sun, and yet everything's new at the same time.
Absolutely. And I always say, because there's so many choices, people will pick that person that seems to resonate with their energy because it's an energetic frequency match, or,
Mhm.
slightly higher than they might be in an energetic sense, so they need that energy. But I always find that the people that need you will find you, and the people that aren't resonating with you will find someone else that may resonate a better way. And that's why I don't believe in competition. It's always cooperation with whatever I do.
Well, in my experience, there's all collaboration. I'm a very collaborative. It's one of my
Yes.
choices
Yes.
is and also that we live in an abundant world. There's more than enough
There's
for everybody.
yes, there certainly is. And I think that's the struggle between not the struggle, but that's the viewpoint difference between people that are not awakened and those that are,
Yeah,
because those that are not awakened will always think there's not enough. I need to get to the top and step on this person and take what they have. And I think that's the
yeah.
crux of war. That's the crux of greed.
Yeah.
That causes a lot of issues. So the more enlightened we can get as a population, the more peaceful we will be as a population as well. Because you're not going to hurt anybody when we're all connected. Really.
Yeah, well, and in my experience too, that's how I created the Healing You method was by stepping into that divine circle of light and receiving the inspiration when my youngest child was very young and I needed to do
Mm-hmm.
homeschooling. He had sensory processing challenges.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's where I really stepped out of the box and began to learn a lot of different
Mm-hmm.
modalities to be of service to my child.
I love that.
And then on
Yeah.
those different modalities that I learned, now those are things that I can pull from depending on who I meet with and
Yes.
what they need, then I can provide those services. And what we did is I created, it was called the two trees. And the
Mm-hmm.
two trees, so there's two trees that are in scripture. And
Mm-hmm.
there's one's called the tree of knowledge and one's called the tree of life.
Mm-hmm.
And so when we get stuck in that tree of knowledge, which tends to be survival based and fear based,
Okay.
and very limited in scarcity,
Mm-hmm.
we can recognize that by how we are actually judging and labeling life.
Yes.
And it tends to be really, I don't think I have it right here. I usually keep them right here, my original two trees, and I did find it. So the original one here,
Oh, isn't that neat? Yes.
yeah,
Yes.
my oldest daughter taught me how to use the PowerPoint back in the day to create.
Yes.
But when we want to, it's usually anger, guilt, shame, depression. Those tend
Yes.
to
All the
rule
lower
us.
vibration energies.
Yeah, and we want to imply wrongness or criticize, or we want to punish or blame in our
Yeah.
language or
Yes.
in our thoughts. And so,
Yes.
but this is actually an invitation to come back to life when we can recognize that we
Hmm.
have those patterns running in us, because those
Yeah,
patterns are imprinted in all humans.
they are. It's
And
truly
so when we can
choice.
come back to that abundant
Yeah.
tree of life, it's
Yeah.
love-based.
I love
And when
that.
we
That's
when we
great.
connect with our hearts, we're
Hmm.
able to notice our feelings and our needs
Hmm.
without criticism or blame, and that opens our heart to see and recognize that in others. And
Yes.
then we can move up to honest expression and be empathetic.
You know,
And
I love
that's really
trees.
inclusive. I love
That's
trees
great.
too.
I love trees. So yeah, one of the things that you reminded me of is many times when a person overthinks or they're in that mind space, they have a disconnect between here and here. And one of the things I've done too is like bring people from brain center into let's link with heart energy, because that's really where your wisdom is. And that's where we send love and we can help people. It's from that center. It's not from up here where we're chattering and judging and overthinking. So that's really interesting. And I love the idea of the tree because trees are grounding and clearing and healing, and it's really ancient. You know, it's an ancient wisdom from a
It
tree.
is. Many
Yeah.
times what I'll do is I will do guided visualizations where the
Hmm.
person as they drop into their bodies, then you can imagine roots coming from your feet.
I do that one all the time. Actually, you know, when I teach Reiki, that's one of the things I teach my people immediately is like, let's ground from the bottom of our feet like roots, and you know, the leaves are like your branches, and you're gonna let the light in, and you know, we go through the whole tree thing. And I learned that from my master teacher, oh, 30 years ago.
Yeah,
And it's one of the most powerful visualizations, I believe, that helps people to understand like what you're actually doing when you're clearing and grounding.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So. You mentioned your course. I just want to get back to that for a second. So when a client wants to work with you, is it over time or is it a few sessions or is it virtual, in person? How do you work with your clients?
I'm basically virtual, though
Okay.
there I do have the sanctuary here, and I do
Mhm.
host retreats, and I do work with individuals here as well. And
Yeah.
so I've done a lot of customized retreats
Uh-huh.
where people, they have a group that they would like to bring. It might be a family
Yes.
group, it might be a work group, it might just be a friend group.
Mm-hmm.
It could be couples that I work with or
Mm-hmm.
individuals. And they come and they're seeking something. And so we talk and we customize what it's going to look like, how many days, and what is it they would love to receive. And we begin the work from that very first call, which is a free call. And
Yes.
so when people go to my website, they will see like the constellations with horses. There's a page
Mm-hmm.
there. They can go in and click that to have an experience
Oh,
with me.
love that.
Or I have several different courses. I run them each once a year, other than
Mm-hmm.
the sacred circles can sometimes come
Mm-hmm.
out twice a year.
Mm-hmm.
And so then those are small groups
Mm-hmm.
that are predominantly women. I do have
Mm-hmm.
a couple of guys that have been parts of groups. But I keep it to six because I
Mm-hmm.
want it to be intimate. And
Yes.
that neuroception of safety is really important
Mm-hmm.
because the work, even though people get to have consent of how deep they go, but
Mm-hmm.
the work is very deep.
Mm-hmm.
And so the majority of people that I work with, they have tried most other things that they're
Mm-hmm.
still seeking. And so
Yeah.
they're really, what they're looking for is how to come back into their own heart, as you had
Yes,
said.
yes.
And so
Mm.
those I've just started it's a 12-week course,
Mm-hmm.
and it's called Mastering Choices, which is really
Mm-hmm.
important work.
Yeah.
And then we'll move into a sacred circles, and then there'll be a rhythm that goes through the year. So
Yeah.
people can take one course or they can continue to journey and it builds upon
Yes.
itself, and they
Okay.
create community that way.
So
When
we're
people want to work with me
yeah.
one-on-one,
Mm-hmm.
then I do have a free session with them. And I
Mm-hmm.
encourage them to really be intentional.
Mm-hmm.
If they want to do some deep work, then I do request them to be um, willing to meet with me for 12 weeks so they
Mm-hmm.
can really move through and create some change in their world
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah.
experience that.
So what state are you in? Are you Arizona? Is that well, I forgot where
No,
you're located. Tell me
I'm
where.
in Washington State.
That's right,
Um,
Washington State. Okay. Okay.
Yes,
I couldn't remember. I had written it down, but it's probably in
yeah,
this little pile of papers here. Oh,
yeah, it's
that's great.
Eastern Washington, just west of Spokane. So
Okay. And how many horses do you have?
at this time, there are five.
They're
Yes,
five.
yes.
Okay. I saw that cute little one. I don't know if that was a pony or is it's a type of horse with the little
Little
shaggy.
mini.
Is that a pony?
It's a mini. It's called a
It's a
mini.
mini. Okay.
Yeah. I have
Beautiful.
three minis and two biggies. Uh,
Okay. And you
I
you
used to have,
ride you ride the biggies and you love the minis?
well, I have. I don't
Yeah.
ride anymore, or I don't ride very frequently.
Huh?
My work with the horses and my relationship with them is all on the ground. It's all about relationship. It's all
Mm-hmm.
about communication,
Mm-hmm.
and it's all about that reciprocal dance of life.
Beautiful. I just I love that you're using not only your experience, but your animals and your heart and everything, and nature, because I love all that. So you said you have children. You have one child, two, or
I've
your kids?
6 children and five that are still with us here.
Oh, wow. Okay. You look too
Yeah.
young to have any kids.
Uh,
You look
well, I'm
fantastic.
well, thank you. I'm 67 this year, so
Oh, oh
I'm
my
celebrating
goodness.
life. I don't ever see a such thing as a retirement. I'll always do
No.
this relationship that I love. So,
Yes, yeah. I mean, I get it. I'm a rolling ball. I taught for 32 years and I've been doing my business for 25 maybe. So, yeah, it's like my husband's like, "Aren't you going to slow down?" Like, "No, no, I'm still breathing here."
yeah.
There's no slowing down.
Yeah. Well, one thing that I have done in the last 4 years is I have partnered also with a biotech company
Okay.
where I've really experienced a reversal of aging. And
Okay.
I actually took pictures of myself before I started to use their products. And I didn't believe anyone would ever see those pictures. And now I show them quite openly
Oh.
because I'm astonished at the difference in my
So,
own life.
may I ask you what company it is?
Yeah, it's a Sea Redox. And so,
Okay. Okay. I know the
yeah,
company. I just bought the liquid stuff
the
to put
gel.
on my face. I'm still waiting. Like
Yeah.
I look old today, but it looked good for a while. I think I just need sleep.
Yeah, well,
Great.
yeah, if anyone's curious about it, they can reach out to me. But
Yeah.
I just, that's where we came back from the conference, and it was
Nice.
really so delightful. It becomes a family of others
Yeah.
that share the same values,
Uh-huh.
because that's what I love. It just dovetailed
Yes.
with my own value system and my
Uh-huh.
own ethos that I have. And
Okay.
it's people over profit, and it's just something that's made such a profound difference, not only in my life, but in my
Hmm.
animals' life.
Okay. So you use the products with the animals. I didn't know they had a line for the animals as well.
It's not a line. It's a line. The product works
Either
only with
way.
cells. No, it works with cells. So it
Okay.
would really help your plants as well. I've used it with some of my plants as well.
Okay. I'm
And
gonna have to
so
look
if you're
back into that now because one of my contacts also, she's the one that got me into using the facial stuff from that
Mhm.
company, and I liked it. It's like I was looking at some of the products, so I'll have to revisit now because you
Yeah,
look great.
we can
So,
always have a conversation about it on the side. But when you said that
wonderful.
about the aging, it's like, that's important. And
Hmm.
everyone deserves to know of the different opportunities that are available in
Hmm.
life.
Sure.
And yet I don't mention it to everybody unless I tune in that they are in a place that they're open to hearing
Right,
about it.
right. And I
Because
think too, you got to find, everybody has to find their way. And I know some of the younger people are so obsessed with the outward facial, but I think for people in our age, we've worked on ourselves, we know who we are. It's nice just to feel revived and refreshed.
yeah,
It just makes you keep going, right? It's a
yeah.
good thing.
Well, that's how I was really blessed that because only about 15% of the people when they try the product notice something right away. And the first morning after I'd used it, I woke up and I felt like I was 15. I could go out on a Saturday morning and ride my horse all day long. And I went,
Uh,
what in the heck is that? This is great. And so there's not a day goes by that I don't enjoy it.
oh,
So
that's wonderful. Yes. If knowing what I know now, right? Okay. Um, at this point in your life, do you consider yourself an introvert, an extrovert, or do you consider yourself both or neither or
well, I've definitely changed.
Mhm.
Um, this gosh, how many years is it? 19. So 6 years ago, my granddaughter passed, and she
Oh,
was only 24,
oh,
and she
I'm
had
sorry.
cancer, and it was really tough. And
Oh,
then 3 years later, her brother took his life.
oh,
And so through that, my oldest son, he lost both of his children, and it
oh,
really profoundly shook the whole family.
I'm sure. Oh,
And through that
goodness.
experience, I really took time to be within myself. And I
Mm-hmm.
would have said I was an introvert most of my life. I
Mm-hmm.
diminished myself. I stayed small. And after I went through that, that was a true awakening at a
Mm.
completely different level that I didn't
Oh my
anticipate.
goodness.
And it was really the dark night of the soul
Oh,
kind of thing.
I can't even imagine. I'm so sorry. Yeah, I can't even.
Yeah. Well, the gifts those
Yeah,
children brought into the life will not be diminished.
of
And they
course.
continue to guide me. They continue to
Yes.
meet with me and to
Uh,
inspire me. And so the work that I've created, all the courses I've created have
uh-huh.
come from that awakening.
It's
because that
amazing.
is where I know what is most important and why
Yes.
I'm here. And I completely trust that, and I trust
Hmm.
the path. So I have a voice that's completely different now, that's not afraid.
Yeah.
When I'm called and it's clear. And
Yes.
also I can also recognize when somebody's not open, and I
Yeah.
just let that be okay.
Yeah.
Because there's no judgment about that. It's unconditional love that's here for everyone, and we can trust the timing of all things.
Isn't it amazing how, well, the light and God uses situations in our life to grow us to be able to
Mhm.
do what we do now? Because I think of things I've gone through in my life, and I think, I had
Yeah,
a sister that died of cancer, and, I was a child at the time. But things mark us when we're young, but it's really not to say, oh, poor me. It's like, what did you learn? What did that soul teach you? What is that connection doing
yeah,
for your life to enhance who you are? So
yeah.
it's something what we have to endure on earth, but it's all
Well,
lessons.
and what we can learn through those experiences has how
That's it.
valuable it is. I don't know
Mhm.
if you've ever heard of U theory, but
Mhm.
we're up on the mountaintops on the tops of the U. Well,
Mhm.
down here in the bottom, that's the dark night of the soul.
Yeah. Yeah.
And when we sit down here, sometimes we need to sit there for a while, and that's
Mhm.
okay.
Mhm.
When we can have accompaniment sitting there, it
Mhm.
can really support us to begin to recognize, what
Mhm.
am I receiving? What is
Mhm.
the lesson here? Or what is the gift that I am receiving through the
Through the
ashes?
darkness, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I always say it's like the seed in the soil. It needs time to germinate, and sometimes it
Yeah,
needs to sit in darkness before it reblooms or before it
absolutely.
blooms. And I
Well,
always think about that. We all are seed. At some point, we're a seed, and we keep reblooming ourselves to open to more light as we go through life.
yeah, well, the
So,
bulbs show us that every spring, right?
that's
They go
right.
through the whole winter. They're down there, they're dormant. They go through
Yes,
so the seasons
the
all reveal
seasons.
this to us.
They
Yeah.
they teach us, and I always say, the fall leaves teach us when it's time to let go, right? And that it's safe. Yeah, love
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, is there any last thing that you want to share as far as how people can contact you, or anything else that you want to share that I didn't bring up or ask you?
Oh, well, I just got message today that my website that I've been under reconstruction, that the homepage has been remodeled. So
Oh,
I had fun
beautiful.
going on and looking. So if people would like to check that out, they could go to glorialybeckercoaching.com and check it
Okay,
out. And there's lots of ways to contact me from there. I
beautiful.
also have a YouTube channel. It's under Gloria Lybecker.
Mm-hmm.
So my name is the way to find me.
Mm-hmm.
And I would love to connect with anyone who would love to connect with me.
And
And
I've been watching some of your YouTubes, and they're very good, and I love them. And I hope people do contact you. Once this posts, I'm going to have your website address in there as well. So if they're listening on YouTube and they want to find you or me, they can click. Um, on mine too, I have my website up there, and I have a YouTube and other ways people can contact me. But I hope that they also take this opportunity to contact you for your sessions, your courses, and your wisdom, because you're amazing. So
oh, thank you.
yeah,
This has
so
been such a fun conversation and going in different places that I didn't expect, but they made it even more fun.
yeah, I hope so. I hope so. All right. Well, thank you. This has been the Lightwalker's Path. Grow your spirit with Rosemary, and this is my guest, Gloria Lybecker, and I hope you contact either of us.
Yeah,
Thank you.
thank you.
Okay.